Don't you die on me, damn it!
He's dropping!
Intubate, now! Cardiac arrest, he's in VFib!
So for me, Metal Gear Solid 4 wrapped up so perfectly that I never really wanted a Metal Gear Solid 5 to happen. I thought all it would do is detract from the series, which is kind of odd because I never even thought that they would go back to Big Boss's storyline, which there is still a huge, at the time there was a huge gap between Peace Walker and the original Metal Gear.
Well, what I believe with the Metal Gear franchise is that Kojima wanted to end the whole story already with Metal Gear Solid 2, and because the franchise was so popular, they needed to expand the storyline, and they added Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater and also Metal Gear Solid 4. If I'm not mistaken, after that, several handheld games like Peace Walker were released, so when I heard that there was going to be a fifth entry, I already assumed that it would be in the past since the main character in Metal Gear Solid 4 is so old, and it wrapped up so nicely that I did actually expect that it would go back in that time period.
What I was expecting, I really didn't know what to expect. Once they finally announced that it was actually going to be taking place between the games Peace Walker and Metal Gear, it made a lot of sense to me. I was expecting, I guess, kind of something that was going to build upon what Metal Gear Solid 4 had created. And I really don't think that it did that, but I don't also think that that's a bad thing. I think it's kind of its own beast. So, Ground Zeroes was initially intended to be a stepping stone from Metal Gear Solid 4, or rather the previous Metal Gear Solid games, into what Metal Gear Solid 5 Peace Walker was going to be. The game Metal Gear Solid 5 and Metal Gear Solid 4 play so drastically differently, at least in my opinion. You lose a lot of the movements that you had in previous Metal Gear games, like wall hugging. That's now done automatically for you. You don't have to physically press yourself up against the wall with a button. They took away things like the knock. They do technically still have the feature, but you have to kind of go through a menu, which I don't care for. I really adore the Fox engine. It looks absolutely beautiful, with the exception of the lens flaring in this game would put J.J. Abrams to shame.
The lens flares. See, this is very interesting. So, currently, of course, we have these games coming out on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and people call it next gen. Technically, because they're already out for a longer time, it's called current gen. But I was thinking to myself, what really has changed much in the graphics so much? And what you see with a lot of games nowadays is that they have depth of field and also lens flares. And so I think they really boosted that up in this game to make it look more next gen. But in terms of my opinion, the depth of field actually takes away from the graphical fidelity of the game.
Other than that, the game looks amazing.
So the character Quiet in the game is actually a little bit more special to me because I actually know the girl who motion captured her and who actually stood model for her face and also voice acted her. She's a girl called Stephanie Joosten, and back in the day when I lived in Holland and went to college, she was a year above me, and she went to Japan earlier and does now modeling full-time, and through auditioning, she actually got into this game and is now one of the most important characters in the game, and it feels really cool to know that somebody, you know, kind of close to me got into a game this big and is now actually kind of famous.
One thing that I really am kind of disappointed with in the new way that Metal Gear Solid 5 works is they seem to have done away with having interesting enemies. I mean, with Metal Gear Solid 1, you had people like Sniper Wolf, and granted, I guess you could say that Quiet is her replacement, or you had characters like Falcon Raven, or I guess the original Ocelot. But now, like, the main bad guys, like, you don't have, like, this menacing squadron to go up against. You have the skulls. They're a bunch of nameless, like, genetically engineered soldiers, and, like, those are just the regular-ass soldiers you were fighting in Metal Gear Solid 1, was the genome soldiers. Like, those are a dime a dozen. You kill them all over the place. Who gives a shit? Now, those are, like, the big bad enemies that you're fighting. It seems kind of stupid, and I don't really like it. It feels like the game lost some storytelling elements in that respect. On to the open world aspect of the game. I think it's a real breath of fresh air. Before, with games like Metal Gear Solid 1, you would need a sniper rifle to fight Sniper Wolf, and the colonel would buzz in and be like, Snake, go and find a sniper rifle. It's a million yards or a million levels back. Get it. And then you'd go and get the sniper rifle, you avoid some traps, and it's whatever. You go back. Now it's more of a thing where you can get the sniper rifle any damn way you want. You can have it airdropped in. You might have already had a sniper rifle that you brought with you. Or, hell, you could order an airstrike and just bomb everyone out. So that's kind of a cool aspect of it. So that was our opinion of the game, but we want to know what yours was. Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to check out our previous videos, click here.